Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome to another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast. I really enjoy doing these podcasts. Throughout the whole week, I think about and I brainstorm what I want to talk about on these podcasts. As you guys know, that these podcasts is totally unscripted. It's just things on my mind. I just want to ask questions. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's been tuning in, listening to the podcast, putting your input in and so forth and so on, right? But we going to talk about it, right? Smartphones. We got to. And the reason why is because over the course of years, smartphones have gotten so good, but people still fighting. And it's so crazy, right? Just think about it, right? Over the past, I want to say 2, 3, maybe 4 years, smartphones have been good in every section, right? And I want to talk about this. And I know what a lot of people always get excited for the next iteration of smartphones, and they fight in the comments and they talk about my smartphone is better than yours. I got this, I got that, I got this. And I'm saying to myself, now wait a minute. Smartphones been good for years. And listen, man, look, what do you look for in the smartphone, right? Performance, battery life, cameras, display, features, right? Pretty much those things that people always talk about every year, right? How good is the battery life, right? How good is the performance? What kind of new features that we have? Well, smartphones now, they taking away features. And how good is the cameras? You know, we talk about the same thing over and over and over. And I want to touch bases on some of the things, right? I want to touch bases on these 4 or 5 pillars. Let's talk about it. I want to talk about battery life first, right? Look, man, over the course of years, we've seen a battery life issue that a lot of people say, oh, the battery life is bad here, battery life is bad there. And you know what I think about, right? When I'm at home or when I'm at my studio, I have access to a charger, right? So I mean, if I'm in the studio, if my battery is on 40%, I just plug it up and it goes back to 100%. So I know a lot of people, what if I don't want to plug up my phone? I mean, listen, man, then you find a problem to a solution that you already have. If you have access to a charger, then plug your phone up. Then, you know, when you get into your vehicles, most people, a lot of people have access to chargers in their vehicles. So if you're driving somewhere, you could plug your phone up and top it off. If you're going on a dinner or going out on a night in the town, I promise you that battery go last you throughout that night, right? If you're out on the night on the town. And then when you get back in your car on your way home, you just plug the phone back up and you're good to go. And when you get home, you plug the phone back up and you fall asleep, you wake up the next day, you had 100%. I believe that, we have access to chargers everywhere. When I go to the coffee house, they have wireless chargers everywhere. You just put your phone down and you wireless charge. And I do understand if you have certain scenarios where you don't have access to a charger. I don't know where you're going to be at to not have access to a charger. If you're at work, you're not supposed to be on your phone. We know that. Well, most work people, some people require that you use the phone, right? Okay, cool. If you use your phone, then they have access at the workplace to a charger. Now, have batteries gotten better over years? I don't know. I think batteries has been the same over the years. Think about it. Listen, we've been talking about this battery issue for years, right? I could go all the way back to 2017, 2016, right? We talk about, okay, you get 5 hours of screen on time. Then the new phones come out. You get 5 hours of screen on time. And then the next year, the new phones come out. You might get 5.5 hours of screen on time. And everybody use their phone differently. Like, I know people say, well, I get 20 hours of screen on time. Listen, I don't know what you do on your phone, but everybody use their devices different. That means that if you got your screen brightness all the way up, you got 120 hertz up, you got everything master blast, sometimes you may not get a lot of battery life. So, I don't know. I haven't seen no huge, large improvements year over year when it comes down to battery life. I believe that if you got bad battery life, then you have to create a solution for that. If you're at home, plug it up. If you're in your car, plug it up. If you're at work, plug it up. I believe that it's a solution for that. Unless you go into the big bulky devices like me, I love the universe tank, that you can get a month worth of battery life. You don't have to worry about battery life for a month. But no, y'all don't want that. Y'all want the so-called flagships, right? That's going to give you 5.5, 6 hours of screen on time. That's going to be it. But every user is different. So when people ask me, and I stopped this, by the way, I stopped talking about battery life in some of my videos. And the reason why is because battery life is based off the user, right? But I mean, look, man, battery life has been great for a long time. I believe battery life, we haven't seen any moving of the needle when it comes down to battery life. Again, your mileage may vary. So battery life is a solution, right? I mean, you got chargers everywhere. If you're at home and you're on 5% and you got a charger sitting right next to you and you refuse to plug your phone up, but that's on you. That's on you. Because we know battery life hasn't got better over the years. Okay, performance, right? Now, they got devices been out for years and years and years with high peak performance. And the biggest question I always ask people, what do you do on your phone? And I hear the same answer. Make phone calls, text message, social media, watch movies and videos, take photos and videos. 5 things that most people do on their smartphones. So that's about it, right? About 5 things that most people do on your smartphones. And I can tell you that for the past 4 years, smartphones is powerful enough to go on social media, to make a phone call, to text people back and forth, to take photos and videos, right? And stuff like that. So you have a lot of smartphones from different genres that can accommodate you for that. And you think about this, right? What is it about a smartphone that people fight over? Build quality. Most smartphones have their own identity. An iPhone gonna look like an iPhone. Samsung gonna look like a Samsung phone. You have other devices out there that's trickling in like OnePlus and stuff like that. They go with a huge camera module. That's their identity. And they haven't changed in years. Apple's not going to change nothing but by moving cameras around. Samsung is not changing anything. We're hearing that the S25 going to have the same design. So it all depends on what's your flavor when it comes down to the design. So, I mean, it is what it is. Display. Listen. Displays has been beautiful on a lot of devices. I pull out my Realme GT, right? My Realme GT 2021 device. Absolutely amazing display on that thing, right? And I'm saying to myself, when you look at that, or you look at a Sony, I got a Sony 1 Mark III or 1 Mark IV, whatever. And I look at that beautiful display. And even when I pull out my Galaxy device, either my older Galaxy devices, or even when I pull out my favorite device that I use every day, which is my LG devices. Just beautiful displays. How could it get any better? They're just absolutely gorgeous. So I know we're not fighting over performance. I know we're not fighting over displays. I know we're not fighting over battery life, right? Because there's solutions for that. So we're not fighting over designs. So what are we fighting for? Features? I mean, if you picked up an iPhone 16 Pro Max, as of me recording this podcast, again, Apple Intelligence is not here. So what are you getting? What are you getting? Samsung, right? I mean, we're hearing that Samsung is going to make you pay for AI after 2025. So what are you getting there? What features are you getting? I mean, they pulling away features from devices, right? I mean, no headphone jack, no SD card support. Samsung pull out their health modules and no charges and stuff in the box. I mean, if price is going up, you're not getting any features. What features are you getting? Software based. Okay, well, software get trickled down to the older devices. So what are you getting? What is the hype about the newer smartphones? And I know people get hyped. Oh my God, the S24 is the best phone on the planet. Well, coming from an S23 to the S24, of course it's supposed to be better. I mean, coming from an iPhone 15 to the iPhone 16, It's supposed to be better, folks. Why would they release a device that's worse than a previous generation device? They're supposed to give you more power, better cameras, supposed to be more battery life and stuff like that. Every year, every generation, that's what they're going to give. But is it worthy to upgrade? Are you willing to drop over $1,000 on the newer devices because of promises or because it's the latest and greatest? Listen, I understand it's a fundamental difference between tech enthusiasts and regular decklers. Tech enthusiasts, they balling like that. Tech enthusiasts got money in the bank. Tech enthusiasts, they feel that when a new device come out, I got to have it. I mean, so the tech enthusiast is balling with money. Tech enthusiasts got big pots of money in the bank that it doesn't matter what device come out, they go just drop $2,000 on it like it's money, like it's water. They don't worry about the economy and all that. No. It's all about the tech. It's about the new latest and greatest. Here's what I'm finding. We're finding that it ain't what you need, it's what you want. Let's go to and say that for now. Easy. I don't need a new phone because my current phone does everything that I wanted to do. But I want the new phone, and that's understandable. And listen, as y'all guys know, I've been doing my studio stuff, right? And we know that none of this stuff in my studio is what I need. Everything in this studio is pretty much what I want. And so I'm not hypocritical to the fact that I buy what I want. It ain't what I need. And we don't criticize people for things that they want. People criticize people because they believe that the device that they have is better than your device. This is where the internal fighting come in at. My device, it don't matter. My device is better than yours. Okay, fine. Enjoy your tech. And a lot of people say, well, if your device listen, we hear this same stuff over every year. Oh my God, listen, I've been on YouTube now 9 years. I've been collecting smartphones for a very long time. I've been making product reviews. I got 3,000 videos on my YouTube channel. And about 89 to 90% of it is about smartphones. So I got my huge collection of smartphones. And every year we hear the same thing over and over and over. It's going to be a beast of a phone. They're putting 4 gigahertz processors in these phones. They're going to put 2,000 megapixel cameras in these phones. They're going to do all of this, everything underneath the sun in these smartphones at a price of $12.99, at a price of $13.99, at a price of $15.99. And you think to yourself, you have some tech reviewers now, they always say, well, if you don't have the latest and greatest, you don't know what you're missing. You hear that, right? You hear that out there. If you don't have the latest and greatest, you have no idea what you're missing. And I'm saying to myself, what the fuck am I missing? I'll be thinking like, what am I missing? Like, what are you missing if you don't buy the latest and greatest? What are you missing if you don't get the iPhone 16 versus the iPhone 15? What are you missing, right? And you be saying to yourself, man, why do people do this? Why? Why do people get to the point where they feel that if you don't have the latest and greatest, you become a peasant or you become something below them or beneath them just because they got the latest and greatest, right? It all of a sudden make them special. You ain't special. You just giving the company more money. You listen, man. Just because you keep buying all the latest and greatest, right, don't make you special. And I buy a lot of studio equipment and it doesn't make me special. I am not special, right? I am nothing special. I am nothing special. Only thing that I am is a positive, reinforced person that try to give out the knowledge of my experience. That's it. And, I know a lot of people say, well, in order for you to experience the new phones, you got to buy them, you got to put them in your hand. And listen, these companies love when tech reviewers say that. People, you know why? Because they feel they going to make money off you. They going to make money. And listen, I always say this. tech enthusiasts, they got the money in the bank, they go buy it no matter what. But you always have these regular decklers that's on the fence. You have somebody that say, you know what, I have a Pixel 5, right? And I'm hearing all these great reviews about the Pixel 9. Is it time for me to upgrade? And when you come to my channel, what do I always ask the same question? I don't care how old your phone is. The phone age, to me, it doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that, are you able to get all that you need out of that current device? I don't care the name brand. I don't care how old it is. You got to remember, I don't care about how old a phone is. I'm rocking a 2020 phone as my daily driver. So it doesn't matter to me how old a phone is. Listen, it's 2024 and I'm rocking a 2020 phone as a daily driver. So age is nothing to me. I always ask the same question. Does that device do everything that you need it to do? That is the primary question. That's the primary answer that I always tell people. When people come to me and ask me, and listen, maybe I am not the YouTube channel, or maybe I am not the person that you might want to ask, should you upgrade? Because I'm immediately going to ask that one question. What the current device, I don't care what you have. You can have a blue phone. You can have an old phone that's raggedy, about the screen about to pop out and everything. I don't care about all that. Here's what I care about. Do that device, your current device, do everything that you need it to do. Now, if the answer to that question is no, I'm getting bad battery life, my screen is half cracked up, my camera lens is bad, it's doing random reboots and stuff like that, and I've been having it for so long, it's paid off, I enjoyed it, and I think it's time for me to go to give it up to something new, fresh. Then that's the time to upgrade. Everything that I just said just now, that warrant an upgrade. I don't care what model phone you got. I don't care if it's an old iPhone. I don't care if it's a Galaxy. I don't care if it's a blue phone. I don't care if it's a Cricket phone. I don't care what kind of phone you have. You have to look at yourself and say, hey, listen, it's time for me to upgrade because this phone is just not doing it for me. And when people come to me and they ask me those questions, that's my fundamental answer. It's up to you. I'm not going to never, ever tell you to upgrade your phone. I'm going to always try to help you keep your old phone and give you tips and tricks on how to make your old phone better by rebooting it, by factory resetting it, by doing a few things, getting rid of old applications that might be just bogging down the device. Looking at the stuff that's running in the background. I am going to help you salvage your old device because I want you to save money. Because the newer devices ain't giving you no more than what you already currently have. Especially if you only doing these 5 things on your smartphone, making phone calls, text messages, social media, right? Watching movies, and what else the last one? Watching movies and taking photos and pictures. That's it. That's it. If your smartphone could do those 5 basic things that most people do every day, not everybody is not upper echelon tech enthusiast that does video editing on their smartphone. First of all, I ain't doing video editing on the smartphone. I'm just letting you know that right now. Not everybody doing photo editing on their smartphone. Again, for a person like myself, I don't do stuff like that. I don't do photo editing. I don't do video editing on a smartphone. But that if you are that type of person that does do photo editing and video editing on your smartphone, then I do understand why you need power. I do understand why you need storage, right? But I'm talking about people that's not doing AutoCAD and all that stuff like that on a smartphone. I'm talking about people that ain't doing freaking high-end gaming on a smartphone because they have a gaming PC. We're not talking about those type of people because those type of people, first of all, let's make sure we understand something. Gamers don't game on smartphones unless you have a gaming phone. This make sure we understand. Listen, if you're a casual gamer, I don't care what smartphone you got. You can do casual games on a lot of smartphones, right? So just so you know, but high-end gamers either got gaming phones or they going to a gaming console or a PC. All right. Video production people don't edit on a smartphone. They will edit on a computer, right? And so you have a lot of things that people use a smartphone just for being a smartphone, right? You asking Google to search something for you, using maps, doing certain things on the smartphone that basic people do on the smartphone. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people I don't know, a lot of people laugh at me, but y'all be fighting over smartphones, and that's crazy. I know, listen, you have no idea how many people say y'all crazy. They have people literally fighting over a smartphone. And sometimes it just doesn't make sense. But that's my 2 cents, man. Like, I feel that, upgrading to the next smartphone is your decision. I believe that it's certain things that we've seen on the newer smartphones, it's not nothing to upgrade to. Then you think about it, right? You look at, besides all the people that's hyping up the smartphone industry, right? But you're looking at apples to apples, oranges to oranges. What are you doing? And I look at this. Listen, I pull out my OnePlus 12, and I could go back and forth, and I pull out my Galaxy S23 Ultra, and I pull out my Z Fold, and I pull out some other phones. I mean, I've been playing around with the other avenues of devices, and sometimes I pull out some of the other devices, and I'm saying, man, I could do those 5 basic tasks with no problem. Making phone calls, browsing the web, social media, taking photos, looking at movies. Those 5 basic tabs, current and older smartphones will do very well. The question is, when you see stuff like almost a 4 gigahertz processor going in the smartphone, the question is, what are you going to do with all that power? We've been talking about it for years, about how Apple put all this power in iPads, put all this power in their smartphones, and they don't do nothing with it. We've been hearing that for a decade now. It's been almost a decade with years, 10 years. We've been hearing the same song and dance. Apple put so much power in their iPads and in their smartphones, but they don't utilize the power that's in their smartphones or in their tablets. You can say the same thing about some smartphones. You putting up overclock processors, all this RAM in a smartphone, and we not utilize. What are we utilizing? What are you doing on your smartphone that requires that much processing power? What are you doing besides making phone calls, going on social media, taking photos and video? Right? Watching movies, making phone calls. And so I want to, let me know down in the comments, right? Am I way off on this? Is smartphones is groundbreaking now that you guys don't see it the way I see it? Are you seeing this huge improvements across the board year after year of a smartphone? I mean, am I at the point where am I just missing something here when it comes down to smartphones? Am I just lost, right? Man, listen, I got over 200 smartphones. Am I lost? And I got the experience. I got this bundles of smartphones. I got freaking lines coming out my ass already when it comes down to coverage. I use smartphones a lot. And I'm sitting around like, I don't see nothing that's groundbreaking. I just don't see it. Man, I don't see it. I mean, desktop mode. Yes, I use desktop mode, but desktop mode been out for years. I mean, when we talk about desktop mode, back in the Galaxy S8? Come on, man. I mean, listen, I made a video of the Galaxy Note 9. And I usually plug up my Galaxy Note 9, use Dex on it sometimes. And the performance is top notch. I ain't got no, I'm using that, and you wouldn't even tell that it's a Galaxy Note 9 as far as performance wise. When I'm plugging up my LG devices using Screen Plus, I'm opening up apps, it's opening up instantly. When I'm watching movies, it looks good, it's bright, it's vivid, and it looks really good on my monitors, on my 4K monitors. It looks really good. So what am I missing? You let me know down in the comments below, baby. This is like the Tech Preacher, baby. Another episode of the Tech Preacher podcast, baby. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I just want to know, man. Listen, I brainstorming. I want to know. Maybe it's something that I'm missing. What is it? You let me know down in the comments. What am I missing? See y'all guys next week. Same bad place, same bad time, baby. Later.